Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Just Say Guay. I'm your host, George Guay. Today I'm joined by Brett Auerbach, who is a former baseball player at the University of Alabama and recently signed his first MLB contract with the San Francisco Giants. Brett, how you doing?
Good, man, George. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. I've asked a lot of athletes that have come on this show recently, how's this year been for you? I know lots happen on and off the field. How have you kind of handled things?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been crazy for sure. It hasn't been easy, but I mean, compared to what I've dealt with, it's nothing to what some people have been dealing with. Some people have lost loved ones, and it's been a tough time for a lot of people. So, I mean, I've just been fortunate that I've still been able to play the game I love, and wake up every day and healthy, and everyone around me is healthy, and so I mean, I've been pretty blessed, compared to what some people have gone through this year. So
That's a good way to look at it. So before we get into what's happened recently, let's backtrack a bit. Um, you had a different path to end up at the University of Alabama. Could you just elaborate on that?
yeah, for sure. So out of high school, I went straight to a JUCO close to home, Saddleback College, and it ended up being just the perfect fit for me. And I was kind of a little bit more of a late bloomer, and I just go back and I ended up just taking off, and really just it just was just a perfect fit for me, and I blended really well in there with the coaches and all that, and just started playing well and taking care of business off the field, in the classroom, and yeah, and then ended up getting the an opportunity to go play in the SEC, and I couldn't look back from there.
Yeah. So were there any specific factors that led you to choosing there? I mean, I know you probably had a lot of options, but what made it come down to Alabama?
Yeah, I think when honestly, for me, and it seemed like the right fit. And, I wanted to get out of California because I'd lived there pretty much my whole life, grew up there, and, I wanted to go get an opportunity to play in the SEC, and it was the perfect fit, and it all worked out. So yeah, it happened. It was awesome.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts when you first went to Alabama? Obviously those schools down south are really nice, all great academic schools, but in terms of the facilities and the fields and um, what was going to make you a better baseball player, what stood out about Alabama?
Yeah, I mean, we had a new coaching staff come in, and they had a rough go the year before, and they were just really preaching. They were bringing in a new culture, and they were really trying to get a good core group of guys to really take the program to the next level, and try and get the program to where it should be, because the years before, I mean, they had a rough go, and a couple, I think, three different coaches in 3 years, and they were just trying to get a good group of guys to come in and be able to help out right away. So I think that was a big step for me, and they wanted a guy that could come in and help out right away, and I was the perfect fit.
Yeah, so you had a big step that first season. I'm going to read it off. You were very successful your junior year, tied for the team in doubles and stolen bases, third in hits and runs, and fourth in RBIs. What was the key to making that transition into a much more competitive baseball environment, especially like the SEC?
Yeah, definitely. I think what was big for me was the summer before going into Alabama. I went up and played summer ball, and it was my first experience kind of getting the field, playing every day. And I struggled a little bit, but I learned a lot, and I took that going into my junior year, and just trying to bring a consistent mindset every day and a consistent approach. And I just tried to go in with the open mind, and always try and get better, and just whatever I did that day, just what can I build on and what can I get better at? I think it was the big thing for me.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that your coaches must have liked is that they can plug you in at multiple positions. Can you say what positions you played and how you're able to pull that off?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a wild ride, honestly. I mean, I was a catcher all 4 years in high school, and then my first year in junior college, I played second year I caught, and then I got to Alabama and just started bouncing me around. And honestly, it was kind of just like, coming up through junior college ranks and in high school, like that's kind of always this is kind of my mindset that I always took to, my game, was that I'm just going to go out and be an athlete. And it just so happened that it ended up working out where I just started bouncing around. And so it just kind of it molded right into my style of play of like just going out and playing and being an athlete. And just, I never considered myself, oh, I'm a catcher, or oh, I'm an infielder, I'm an outfielder. It's just like, oh, I'm a baseball player, and I'll go out and play wherever they tell me to play.
That's a great way to look at it. So speaking of, being the best athlete, I think a big factor in that was the fact that Alabama has arguably the best facilities in the country for their athletes. Can you elaborate on those and how they affected your play?
Yeah, I mean, they got everything for us. I mean, I think what the facility that for baseball, at least, I mean, it's probably 4 or 5 years old, but I mean, it's state of the art. It's top 5 facility in the country. I mean, it's ridiculous, honestly. I mean, what they got for us over there and all the resources that we have to get better. I mean, it's just like, why wouldn't you want to be in a place like that? I mean, there's just everything, like anything you name, they got it for you to get better, whether it's, in the classroom, on the field, nutrition, strength programs. I mean, we had anything at our disposal. And I mean, it's, at the end of the day, obviously it's up to the student athlete to take advantage of it, but it's almost too easy. It's almost like, they almost like force it down your throat, which is awesome because, that's how you're going to get better, taking advantage of all the guys that they have there for you.
Yeah, it's really amazing how much those facilities can help you out in the long run. So let's take things a little bit north from Alabama to Cape Cod, which is about 2 hours away from I am in Massachusetts. What was it like to play in the Cape Cod Baseball League and ultimately be an all-star in that league?
Yeah, I mean, the Cape was awesome. I loved it. It was just like such a different experience. And what was crazy is like I went up there on a temp contract, so like I just went up there and I was just like, whatever happens, happens, man. Like I could be here 2 days, or I could be here the whole summer if things work out. So, I mean, I went up there and I was just like, hey, I know I'm going to get a chance to play baseball at a high level and I'm just going to have some fun. And yeah, it ended up just working out and I ended up having a great summer. And I mean, we had a lot of fun up there and it was just such an experience, like such a great experience. I mean, like, from my host family to, just life on the Cape, it's different than anywhere else in the country, anywhere. Because I'm a West Coast kid and being about as far away from home as I could possibly get, up in the eastern part of Mass up there on the Cape. So, yeah, but I mean, so many good things to say about that place. And yeah, it was just an incredible experience.
Yeah, I've been going to Cape Cod baseball games for years, and I can't imagine how special it is to play in it. While you were playing, though, did you ever think about and get nostalgic about, who's been on that field in the past? Because so many great players in the league right now and ones that played in the MLB played on those fields, like Aaron Judge, Evan Longoria, Chris Bryant. I mean, even Kyler Murray, who's an NFL quarterback, he played on the same fields that you did. Did that make it a bit more special?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, sometimes you just look around. I mean, not even just about the history too, but just you look around and you got guys from, all over the country, just like the best players in the country. And, so there's that. You just look around and you're like, gosh, I mean, it's just an honor to be like on the same field as a lot of these guys. And then, like you said, you got, future all-stars, Hall of Famers, I mean, for not even just guys in the big leagues right now, but guys that are done playing and guys that played before I was even born, and so yeah, that absolutely, that makes it just that more special that I was able to go up there and just play on those fields and be in that environment.
Yeah, their biggest campaign slogan to see all over their websites is "Where tomorrow's stars shine today," and I couldn't agree more with that. So, and one other question I got asked about Alabama: it's such a great sports culture down there. Does it make it more extra special that pretty much all the teams are very, very competitive and competing for a national championship, as opposed to, some of the schools where you just kind of see only one team's competing for one?
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, I mean, you walk around and you got just incredibly talented athletes everywhere you go. You go eat at the dining hall where, all the student athletes are. And it's just like, whether, I mean, you got like football, tennis, basketball, all these different sports. And it's just like, everyone is just elite, and so it's just like, it gives you that even more, like if there wasn't enough motivation with all the facilities and, playing in the SEC, I mean, it's even more so the fact that when you're walking around and you're seeing, I'm walking around and you got like, Tua Tagovailoa walking around and, then a couple other first round NFL picks. And it's just like, dang, man, like, I mean, I got to keep working, like I want to be where these guys are headed,
Yeah, it must really motivate the team. So let's keep going a bit forward. You signed your contract with the San Francisco Giants, the most accomplished probably MLB team of the decade with those World Series championships. What was it like signing with them? And were you a Giants fan growing up?
No, not really. But yeah, no, it was I mean, it was a dream come true. I mean, obviously I've always wanted to play the D1 level, and then anything kind of past that was just like kind of extra. So being able to, sign a professional contract and, get paid to play baseball. I mean, that's just like, it's just words can't even describe it. Honestly. I mean, it's awesome, man. And, I'm trying to make the most of it.
Yeah. So my last question is, what are you trying to improve on going forward? Because especially this past year, people have had a lot of time to train. What are you trying to work on going forward?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always trying to get faster, stronger, more durable, because I mean, that's a big switch coming from the college ranks, going to the professional game is, you're playing every day, you're playing 140 games, in a minor league season. So, how are you going to get your body, strong, but also ready to take on, 8 months of baseball, I mean, not everyone can wake up every day and play baseball. I mean, it takes its toll. And I mean, I learned that playing up in the Cape for 2 months and then, going into a college season. So just trying to get my mind right and, get my body just prepared to take on, the weight of a minor league baseball season.
Yeah, I agree with you. The durability is definitely got to be something that's at the top of your list, especially making that big transition. Well, Brett, I appreciate you for coming on my show. We'll stay in touch, and I'll be wishing for the best of luck with the San Francisco Giants.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it, man.
Yep. Have a good one, man.
You too.